the Italian Football Podcast.
Hello everybody and welcome to the Italian Football Podcast. I'm Carlo Garganese, joined as always by Nima Tavallaey. On today's show we are delighted to be joined by former Arsenal and Cameroon star Lauren, who was a key part of Arsene Wenger's legendary Arsenal Invincibles team of 2004. He also previously played for Mallorca in Spain. So Lauren, thank you so much for joining us. Let's get straight into it.
So, at Mallorca, you played against Lazio in the 1999 Cup Winners' Cup final, and Lazio won that game 2-1. Your direct opponent was Pavel Nedved. What can you tell us of your memories from that game and playing against him?
First of all, it wasn't my direct opponent because I was playing as a right wing, so nothing to do with Pavel Nedved. Getting to your question about the final, I think it was one of the best finals I ever played. I played many finals, but that one was the best one because it was Mallorca is a small team, wasn't the greatest team in Spain, but the fact that we had a solid squad, we had a great manager with Hector Cuper. We managed to beat Barcelona, and then we managed to get to that final. I think we lose the game. In that final, I remember that one action was the one I had a chance. I hit it close to the top corner, and it was saved by Markeliani. And then the next action, it was Pavel Nedved, the one that scored. So, I mean, it was great from one side, but on the other side, I feel that I got that final on my boots. But this is football. I will learn from that.
Absolutely. You were coached by Hector Cuper at Mallorca, and he was, of course, infamous at Inter, my team, because he had a horrible relationship with Ronaldo. But what was Cuper like as a coach and a person? Was he difficult to work with?
Well, it was a hard man, but we all have to feel always grateful with manager that can add you something into you. And that was my first year in the top level with Mallorca and Hector Cuper. I think he was one of the key managers in our development. Me, Danny, Tristan, Luque, all those players under Hector Cuper, I believe that they develop the talent, and we have to be grateful in that. In that sense of more defending, because as Mallorca is not a big team, it wasn't a big team, so the fact that we were playing in the low block, close all the gap, and get good transition going forward. So we learn a lot more on the defensive point of view rather than the offensive, because the offensive, when we play in a big team, you have to play more positional, in the last third, pressing high up. So those things you do it with Arsenal but we were under Hector Cuper, we were developed in that sense, and we have to be very grateful because he was a top manager.
And in 2000, you joined Arsenal. Is it true that before you joined Arsenal, you were close to joining Fabio Capello's Roma?
I think in my time, it was Derek Seaman. It was the manager around that time. It was Derek Seaman, the one that it was, I was close to sign my first year to Roma. We just reached an agreement between the sport director and me. Matteo Alemani was the sport director at that time at Mallorca. So we decided, we settled an agreement in the way that stay one more year, please. We improve your contract, and I'm guaranteed to you that next year we will find a solution. So I always negotiate my own contract. I always believe in the word of a sport director. In this case, Matteo Alemani was top sport director, and we sealed that agreement. And the next year, I was sold to Arsenal.
You were sold to Arsenal, and the rest was history. Well, at Arsenal, you played with a young Cesc Fabregas. Fabregas is now coaching Como in Serie A, and he's doing really, really well. And many people are impressed with him. What do you make of what he's doing as a coach? And could he maybe be a future Arsenal manager, maybe one day?
He's an amazing lad. You have to know that with just 15 years, he had that kind of personality in order to be able to challenge Patrick Vieira, Ray Powell in the middle, Gilberto Edu, and he had that kind of personality without no scale. You have to replace Patrick Vieira. You have to replace top player in the middle of the park. He did it well and did it in a style. And it's something I always say to the youngsters that Fabregas has something that he wanted to improve. He got the talent, but he wanted to improve every single day. He was the first in the gym. He was the first on training. He was one of the best in the training session. It was that personality. So the father is aligning his personality with what he's doing as a coach. So I mean, I had no doubt that one day will be a top manager.
Speaking of Arsenal, they signed Riccardo Calafiori this last summer. How much of a special talent do you think he is?
He's a talented player. I mean, the good thing for Arteta is that he can play him in different positions. He could play as a left back, or play as a central back. We saw him when he was at Fiorentina playing sometimes at Bologna, sometimes in the middle of the pass, a holding midfielder in front of the back four. So the father have so many choices, so many ways that can be useful for Arteta. I mean, it's I love the father. He's playing for us. He's a top player.
Well, so you do mention that he can play in many positions. Well, you know, some would say his best role is centre back, but what position would you play him in? I mean, because you can't really break up Gabriel and Saliba partnership, can you?
Well, this is a question that you have to ask to Arteta. I just believe that he's a top player, and I stick with that. Whether if you're gonna play as a central back or left back or his best position, Arteta is the one that's gonna decide it.
Yeah, for sure. And he might play there now after Saliba got a red card at the weekend. After the success of Calafiori and Jorginho at Arsenal, are there any other Italian or Serie A players that you like, that you would like maybe Arsenal to try and sign?
Well, again, this is a question that Arteta and Edu will be keen to answer. Well, I believe that the more top players that we had in the squad is better in order to achieve our goal by the end of the season.
Do you have a favourite Italian player or Serie A player? Is anyone playing in Serie A that you love as a player?
Well, I love big players, and the more big players that we had at Arsenal, it will be easy to challenge Champions League, FA Cup, the Premier League, all the competition that we are playing for.
Okay. Do you think, you might say Arteta has to answer this, but do you think that Arsenal should try and sign a number 9? It's been a big question for a while that they need a natural number 9. They tried to sign Cesc in the summer. Do you think that they should try and sign someone more proper number 9 like a Cesc?
Well, I always said that we need a player, a number 9 that can help Gabriel Jesus, that can help Kai Havertz, that can help Martinez, that can help Bukayo Saka in the last third. I mean, this is something that an number 9 will be great for Arsenal, because we will have another also different version in order to attack the opponent, because we see many times that you play against a dominant side like Man City, you have to defend sometimes or many times during the game in the low block. So you need to go quick transition going forward. So you have on the left, Martinelli is able to do that. But if you have another number 9 that can hold the ball and allow the team to come out from the back, it will be fantastic. So therefore, I'm saying that we will need maybe another number 9, different than the ones that we have now in the squad, in order to help them to achieve our goal by the end of the season.
Just a few quick questions just to finish off. I'll give you like, if you just want to give us a one-word answer, and if you want to expand on it, you can. So who's your best ever teammate that you've played with?
Well, despite the fact that I've been playing with some great top players in my generation, starting from Tristan, Thierry Henry, Dennis Bergkamp, Patrick Vieira, I can choose all of them. But
Okay.
I'm gonna go for my fellow mates, Samuel Eto'o, because we were sharing rooms in the African Cup of Nations. We were sharing rooms in the Olympics. We were sharing rooms in the World Cup. So the fact that we had that kind of connection between us since the World Cup back in 1990 in France. So, I mean, we had a fantastic relationship. So therefore, I choose, he's a top player as well. And I choose Samuel Eto'o with all the respect from the others.
Okay, fair enough. Who's your toughest opponent? Which player, direct opponent you played against that you hated playing or you appreciated the most? You thought, oh, he's an amazing player.
In my opinion, I challenged many of them during my season, my years at Arsenal. I always says Ryan Giggs, because Ryan Giggs was extraordinary player. I mean, above everyone else, in my opinion, on my side, above Robin, above Ian Duff, above Cristiano Ronaldo, above anyone. I mean, it was fantastic play. I mean, it makes you improve during your games. It makes you think. It makes you planning your own tactics in order to stop him. So, I mean, it was an amazing player. I mean, driving with the ball, very intelligent. He always looking your movement according to your movement. He was moving around the pitch. You can go out. You can come inside. I mean, it was quick with the ball. I mean, it had everything. And that, you know, but I always say that one of the best games I played with Arsenal as a defender was against him when we won the double at Old Trafford. So it's a top player.
Who do you think is the best right back in the world right now?
Alexander-Arnold.
Inter, Milan, Juventus, Napoli. Who wins the Serie A this season?
Arsenal in the Premier League.
Just one last question. But I wanted to ask you, would any of today's Arsenal players get into your invincible side, and who would that be?
I said again, I mean, I stick to my Arsenal invincible. I believe that we have to avoid comparison, because always when we compare, there are always signs of weaknesses. So the fact that we have to stick to the team that we are now. Arteta is doing an amazing job. Edu as well. So, I mean, we had a team that we can challenge anyone in the Premier League, and we can challenge anyone in the Champions League. So therefore, I stick with the current squad without comparison. I will put this or that. So
final
let's
question
be with this generation.
Thank you, Lauren. And final question. Thank you for coming on. The most important one: pineapple on pizza. Do you like it or do you hate it?
Sorry.
Pineapple on pizza. You know, it's important for Italians. Do you like pineapple on pizza?
I hate it.
Good.
Right answer. Right answer.
How can you put pineapple in a pizza, man? Come on.
You lived in England.
Be serious.
Yeah? You lived in England, didn't you? Thank you, man. Appreciate it. That was fantastic.
You're welcome, man.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you so much for joining us, Lauren. We wish you all the best in the future. And thank you, everyone, for listening. Until next time, ciao, ciao.